Since the executive order by the Trump administration, lots of founders have been reaching out to us asking how can they get the best of crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is now one of the preferable fundraising strategies, being that federal funding has now been restricted. So today we're going to be talking about crowdfunding for nonprofits, what works and how do you get the best of it. And I'm going to be guiding you through 8 key considerations that's going to help you make the best of your next crowdfunding efforts. So before I go into that, let's talk a bit about crowdfunding and what is it really all about. Crowdfunding is basically trying to raise money from a large number of people, basically a direct fundraising outreach. You're not trying to build relationship, you're not trying to nurture relationship, you're just putting it all out there and then of course hoping for the best. This isn't really the best way to raise money. We professionals, we know the best ways to raise money has always been through valuable relationships. But again, there are some interventions that may need instant funding, and this is where crowdfunding comes in. And there are some interventions that may already have, the ears and the hearts of the people. So this way, once you put out your messaging, it's always a direct, a direct return for your organization. So how do you get the best of crowdfunding and what has worked? Well, I'm going to take you through the 8 key considerations. The very first is the right platform. There are different crowdfunding platforms. We have Indigo, we have Kickstarter, we have GoFundMe, we have Mighty Calls, we have Costbox. Each of these platforms cater for different groups of audiences. So the very first step is making sure you determine who are the people I'm trying to reach out to, and then you're making sure you're using the right platform that can help you reach these people. That's the first step to be successful. If you use the wrong platform, every other thing I'm going to say here would not make any difference. But with the right platform, you could even see results without even, following through on all 8 of these steps. The second is specific and tangible goals. People only bound around tangible and specific goals. If I know that with $100, if I give you $100, that's going to, feed 10 children. That's a very specific and tangible goal that I'm more likely going to be a part of. Unlike where you're asking me for $100 and I don't even know the direct outcome, I don't know the impact, right? Nor is the goal specific. Maybe it could be vague, right? Say, for example, if you give us $100, we're going to make sure school children in this school are happy. Well, that's a big goal. Nobody wants to put their money in such. But when I know that with $100, I'm feeding 10 children, I'm feeding 100 children, that's a goal I would like to bound around. So making sure you have specific and tangible goals is one key way to ensure your crowdfunding endeavor is successful. The third considerations are testimonials and social proof. Like I said, crowdfunding is like a direct fundraising outreach that takes away the relationship. So because of that, it's really very tricky for people when they want to give funding costs. So one of the factors that shows credibility, that shows that you're real and you're really doing this work is social proof and testimonials. So to help you bridge that gap of not having a communication, you need a relationship, you need to put forth social proof and testimonials to show that you're really doing the work you're doing. Social proof that shows transformation, that shows how you've been able to create impact. This is really very important in ensuring the success of your crowdfunding endeavor, because lots of people are going to come on your crowdfunding page, and it is these testimonials and social proof that's going to convince them to your organization. The fourth is having a great landing page. So most of these platforms, for example, Mighty Cost, Costbox, Indigo, Kickstarter, lots of them give you a landing page that you can then modify to fit your whatever you're raising money for. Having a great landing page is one key factor that you can't underestimate. So from the sales copy, making sure the copy is solid and tight, to having your testimonials, to making sure it's well structured, to making sure it's well branded, the colors, the content, the mission, all that are well stated on your landing page is going to help you convert these people, prospects who come to that page, into donors. But when you have a rowdy landing page, for example, there's this client we worked with last year, their donation page and their landing page entirely off it. It wasn't something to write home about. We had to take, a good time, about 2 days, to rework the landing page, make sure it's solid and good for the people we're expecting to visit. So making sure you have a great landing page is one good way to raise money from crowdfunding. The fifth is engaging your existing and immediate network. Many founders think, when they think about crowdfunding, it's just all about putting the messaging into social media, getting as many people involved as possible. But the truth is, before your crowdfunding page is really going to go viral, before most people are going to engage, you're going to need your own network to come in and engage. So the way a lot of these platforms work is that once you set up your crowdfunding engagement and you send it live, the first thing they do is they send it to the first 300 people. So it depends on the reaction of the first 300 people. That's what's going to lead them to then send it to the next 1,000 people. And then the reaction leads to getting it to the next 10,000 people. So where we bridge that gap is by bringing our family and friends in for the first, once you go live, so that they can start engaging, they can give, they can share, promote. That way, the algorithm is going to see that the first 300 people are appreciating this, and then it's going to push it over to the next 1,000 people. If you could still get your existing network to still come in and still push, that is just going to blow it to the next 10,000 people, and it's going to be a huge game changer for you. So making sure you have your existing network engaged first, promote your crowdfunding first before putting it out to the general public, is going to really help you in terms of promoting and pushing your crowdfunding page far and far to a wider audience who can give to you. The sixth part consideration is incentives and lead magnets. So incentives are a good way to get people to give to you. When people feel like this, they can get something back in return. When people feel like they can get some value by giving to your organization, they are more likely to give. So if you want them to give, and you want them to give as much as you want them to, you have to offer some sort of incentives. So this could be free services, free resources, a handwritten thank you letter, mention on our website, whatever value you could give back for this resource they are giving to you. It's going to be a huge game changer to get them to give to you. Some even, give out branded t-shirts for every donation. So it's really going to help you if you're looking to get the funding you need. The seventh is setting, there has to be a timeline. And this timeline is quite tricky. I'm really going to talk about this. If you put it on a short timeline, say 3 days a week, you won't have enough time for the algorithm to really promote and really get your crowdfunding offer out there. But if you put it in, say, 30 to 60 days, right, you're going to have enough time for your crowdfunding offer to really run, reach out, to really reach the people you want it to. And again, if you set a longer timeline, say 90 days, right, it may run for too long and you may not get the result. So making sure that's in between in terms of the timeline is what's going to help you. You're not setting a short timeline, you're also not setting a too long a timeline. Your timeline has to be accurate so that it can give the algorithm enough time to promote you and also give people enough time to also donate to your crowdfunding endeavor. And then lastly, regular updates. So regular updates is like one way for you to really maximize your crowdfunding engagement. So regular updating in the sense that you're updating them, telling them, to raise $1,000 or the $10,000 we want to raise. That's something that gets people fired up to want to give more. Regular updating in the sense that you're emailing those who have given to say thank you and saying, this is how much we've raised, this is the impact we've created. This could get you recurring donors, people who would come back to give because you're updating them on the status of your crowdfunding and of course your impact. So of course, these are the 8 key considerations when thinking about crowdfunding for your non-profit organization. We know since the restriction of federal funding, non-profits are exploring all opportunities available to them. Crowdfunding is one huge opportunity available to you. So go set up your crowdfunding pages today. Make sure you have these 8 considerations in mind, using the right platform, setting specific goals, putting testimonials or social proof on your page, creating a great landing page, right? That's going to convince them to give, engaging existing network, your family and friends, having them to go give first and promote your crowdfunding engagement, offering incentives, for example, t-shirts, merchandise, caps for whatever donation they give, setting a solid timeline that's not too short, not too long in between, and then of course providing regular updates to your donors and prospective donors so that they know that you all are on a journey towards a particular direction. That's going to get them to come back and give, and that's going to get people to keep giving. So that's it for today. Tomorrow we're going to be on here again to talk about more ways you can raise money for your. If you're seeking to raise money for your non-profit startup, we would like to help you. Simply go on our website, schedule a free call with us. Let's meet with you. Let's discuss on how to help you scale your organization, scale your vision, and scale the work that you do. Until next time, peace and love.